All right, we are here once again with the women's ice hockey captains, Bridgette Prentiss, Strack and Delaney Guimont. One piece of housekeeping before we get going here. The only reason this set is not decked out Christmas-wise is because Miss Prentiss and Miss Strack are playing bridge today. Delaney and I tried, just for the record. Anyway, Dartmouth and Maine this weekend, but first let's talk about the trip to LIU. Delaney, I want to start with you. Kind of a weird situation. You basically shut down a team one night and then get blown out by them the next night. So, I mean, I guess what changed? What did you see that was different from one game to the other? What worked Friday night that didn't work on Saturday?
Well, Friday night we came out and we kind of gave it our all right from the start, and we went to the first period as hard as we could and just played as the team that we are. And the second game, the only thing that was different was we just didn't come out as strong as we should have that first game. We were playing a little weak. We weren't being as strong on the puck as we could have been. We weren't moving our feet as much. And then we did play a really good rest of the 40 minutes, but when you don't come out strong for the first 20 minutes, it kind of sets up the rest of the game. And you can't have a great 60 minutes if it doesn't start with the first 20, and I think that's what really happened in the second game.
Bridgette, for you, kind of defensively specifically, what broke down on Saturday?
Like the lady said, we weren't strong on the puck. We were going into battles, kind of timid, scared, unlike that in the first game where we were ready to go out there and we were ready to play. I think that we kind of took it lightly in the second game, and we shouldn't have because we knew how hard the first game was. But yeah, we weren't strong on the puck.
Just apologize that I have to ask you this, but you're the goaltender on the set here. Tough goaltending day on Friday. 7 goals on 23 shots, Saturday, 7 goals on 23 shots. That's a tough night by anybody's standards. So I guess it's a two-part question. A, what's going through your head when you're out there and everything's going good? Certainly that's not the goal out there. And then part B, how do you as a unit of goaltenders refocus knowing there's tough opponents on the schedule this weekend?
I think the first half of it, you're just trying everything you can to reset. You don't want to think about it. I mean, especially when the period's over, you can't think about what just happened. But even after, it just seems like everything's going in. If you start focusing on it, then definitely everything will go on. I mean, it's the mental side of it. If you start letting it get to you, you're just going to keep going downhill. It's just a kind of fight that you're trying to kind of keep yourself afloat, and you're trying to get back into your groove. And some games you just struggle to let that happen. And then it's just resetting this week at practice. It's you maybe Saturday night or Sunday, you can kind of think back on it, maybe be frustrated, a little bit mad about it, but Monday you're just fully reset going to practice. Don't think about it. If you want to look at the film, fine, but you can't let it get you down. You know you have tough moments. You just need to really reset your all and know that I got to come back in on my game.
And on that note, let's turn our attention ahead to this week. Dartmouth and Maine, two tough games on the road. Delaney, question for you, kind of is going through finals week here, knowing those two teams are on the horizon. How are you guys working to balance, A, focusing on your finals and the academic side of piece with getting prepared for 2 of your toughest games of the year?
It's definitely hard having to study and then go and focus on hockey as well. But actually, it has turned out easier than we all thought it would be, I think. At first, we were all like, oh, this is we're going to have really late practice and we have finals to focus on. This is going to be so tough. But in reality, it's kind of been a nice break where we're studying all day and then we get to go to practice and kind of release for those 2 hours. And usually on any given day, we go to hockey and we're able to just forget about everything. And I think that the fact that everyone's finishing up finals now and we only have 1 or 2 left, we get to go to practice and everyone's so excited. They're like, oh, we're almost on break. This is cool. We have no school. We're literally just playing hockey. So I think it's honestly a great week to have these games because we're all so amped up in the fact that the semester's over. We're going to play these Division I games. And I think that the focus is definitely there. I don't think it's been impacted by the finals. I think, if anything, it's been a challenge that we've overcome.
One thing you hit on there that I want to follow up on, I know a lot of days it's tough to know that practice is 8:30 to 10:30 or whatever. It's looming at the end of your day all day. But is that also a positive of it, that once you get to practice, your day's over and it's just hockey for the rest of the night? Is that something that year-round kind of works for you guys a little bit? Depends on the day.
It depends on the day and it depends on the person. I know some people have 8 a.m.s. Personally, I have work at 6:30 in the mornings. So, I mean, some days you go and then you can go to bed right away, but I know other days we have practice and then my adrenaline is running till like midnight and I'm like, I have to be up in 4 hours. So it's give and go. Some days it's cool, some days it's bad, but yeah, for the most part, we're just used to it.
Bridgette, for you, we've talked about recovery a few times with you over the course of the year. So back-to-back games against tough Division I opponents. Also, they're 2 hours in opposite directions. Plus, it's the end of the semester. What's the focus on recovery from Dartmouth to Maine this weekend?
I think after the first game Friday, at the rink, we're gonna have to do like a full team recovery. Stretching, running, anything to do to like help our legs and things like that. And then Saturday morning, it's waking up and at a normal time and recovering as a team, like at school here, and then getting on the bus to go there. And then after we get off the bus, it's warming up for the game. It's not sitting around. You're gonna have bus legs, and we just have to be ready for that.
Jess, the last question here is for you. End of the semester, last weekend of the semester. I know everybody's looking forward to 2 weeks away to recharge and refresh for the second half of the season. How do you battle that going, especially to Saturday's game, after what's going to be a tough game on Friday night, and make sure nobody's looking ahead to the break and forgetting about Saturday's game?
I mean, Coach definitely talks about that because he's aware that you're all excited to go home and see your family, maybe get some rest, but it's really, we have those 2 weeks, we know we have them, so just give it your all through Saturday, and then you can focus on the break. And a lot of people are some people are leaving with their families after the game. They're bringing stuff home now, basically, but a lot of us are just coming back to campus, and then that way we can pack and go on Sunday. Just that way you're not distracted by it, and it's really just knowing all you have to do is give it your all for the next 4 days, and then you can think about the 2 weeks off. Don't be thinking ahead now, just dial it for 4 days.
Just to wrap things up, holiday plans for you guys? Any good holiday stories from the past? What do we have?
I have a good story if you guys want it. So my dad always likes to bring this one up. I have a weird, irrational fear of reindeers and deer in general. And when I was younger, it used to be really bad. And there was one time everyone used to do that NORAD, like you track Santa. And one time we were driving home from the Christmas Eve party at my aunt's house, and my dad was like, "Oh, I'm on NORAD, Santa's over our car right now," and I started just hysterically sobbing, bawling my eyes out because the reindeer was over our car, and I did not want the reindeers to land on our house because I just did not like reindeer, and I'm afraid of them.
A dad would love to tell that story, wouldn't he?
I don't have really a fun story that I can think of, but for Christmas break this year, and we do it actually every year on Christmas Eve, we go up to my grandmother's house with my whole dad's side of the family, and we make pierogies or doughs, depending on how you say it. So we make dough, we fold them all together. I think we make, 200 of them. So it's just kind of the whole day spent in the kitchen with your family, just making food, and then you eat it.
Pierogies are delicious.
So good.
Plans-wise, I think, my family's just going to get together in Buffalo like we always do. And then a story, one year my younger brother and I suffered from chicken pox during the Christmas holiday season, so that was fun.
It's a tough Christmas. All right, they're the women's hockey captains, Bridgette Prentiss, Jess Strack, Delaney Guimont. From all of us with Ravens Women's Hockey, happy holidays to you and yours. We'll see you on the other side. Thanks, ladies.
Thanks.